Alrighty guys, I just wanted to go ahead and clarify something about the last video. That there towards the end, whenever I was reviewing Nova Prime's combiner mode, before I ever shot anything, I realized that it was not going to hold up to scrutiny as far as the video goes. So basically the entire time I was doing it satirically, or in other words, I was just making fun of it the entire time. So that's the reason I was so overly dramatic and acted like I was just so frustrated, you know. So anyway, I wanted to give you guys, I felt I owed you a appropriate, actual, legitimate review of his combiner mode. Now, one of the things I did want to go ahead and mention is you will notice down here he's actually using a Power the Prime's feet. The reason I chose to do that was because even though I was making fun of it, the area in here on his legs is actually not structurally stable as it should be. But to give it some stability, it's actually better to use the standard Power the Prime's foot configuration as opposed to a third-party foot, because while it does have a lot of range and motion in his legs, by using these feet, if you can see how they operate, it just gave it too much give, and that's why especially his legs were not stable as they needed to be. Now on the actual hands themselves, you'll see over here for his right hand, I am actually using a normal Combiner Wars hand, because with the 5mm peg being in there, when it plugs in, if you guys have any Combiner Wars figures, you'll know that basically there's no motion in the wrist at all, and so he's actually able to hold the sword without drooping down. Now over here on the other side, I went ahead and used a Power the Prime's figure, which does have the deal in the thumb, and as you guys know, that does give it a little bit more leeway as far as this weapon is concerned. So you can see I can move it any direction that I want to because it's locked into that thumb. Now as you can see, he's still having some stability issues, as you can kind of see. So okay, you're doing good. Just stand there, bro. Now to kind of illustrate the way that the wings are attached, they actually have a large range of motion in them, and they actually swivel very loosely. And to illustrate that, I'm going to show you guys how it's done on MotorMaster, because more or less the combiner core is mostly the same. The kit did not affect it, and if there are some areas, I'll go ahead and bring that out. Now, if you want to, basically the way that Nova Prime's hands are is they are just like this on MotorMaster. So if this was, I know it's not the same size, but the way that the wing plugs in is like this. So it just plugs into the top of the fist. So both wings actually have full range of motion just because they're sitting inside the hand holes for torso mode. Now, the one thing I will bring out is that up on Nova Prime, one of the kit things is it gives you a piece that gets added in between this piece and where this joint is. So it actually, that's how the leg is, that's what makes him so much taller, is because there's a piece in between this one and this one. And again, with all that extra length there, that is also what is giving him some of the instability. So anyway, that's kind of why I wanted to show you guys that, to explain why he is structurally not the way he is. But again, using the stock Hasbro pieces, whether it's Power of the Primes or Combiner Wars, is actually giving him a little bit more stability. But again, in his combiner mode, it does take a little bit of patience and just, you know, figuring out how it is you can make him stand the best way possible. I kind of got him in an action pose earlier, but again, it's going to take you a little bit longer than your standard figure. And like I said, that's the only complaint I have about this overall kit, is how it, you know, posability is compromised, but aesthetically looking, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I'm getting some serious kind of Predaking vibes from this, you know, and do I regret buying it? A little bit, but not too mad. So anyway, I wanted to give you a better, serious review of his combiner mode. Again, because I was literally just making fun of it the entire time, so please don't take that serious. Like I said, I was being dramatic on purpose to kind of hide, and some of my frustration did vent through, but like again, it was overly dramatic. It was just satirical. So anyway, guys, that is the actual serious review of Nova Prime's Combiner Mode. And until next time, guys, we'll see you in another review.